Again to the 2025 Big Ten Men's Soccer Tournament. Now let's meet the starters, beginning with UCLA. On defense, a sophomore from Salinas, California, number 2, Shaquille Nixon. On defense, a junior from Austin, Texas, number 3, Trey Wright. And midfield, a senior from San Ramon, California, number 6, Harun Caramanchi. And forward, a redshirt sophomore from Lleida, Spain, number 9, Sergey Solans Ormo.
On this cold November night, the eyes of the nation descend upon College Park, Maryland and Ludwig Field, where the Terrapins have a target on their back. The number 1 team in the country makes their first appearance at home with the number 1 ranking since 2019. They take on the UCLA Bruins, the 4 seed in this Big Ten tournament, who they drew 0-0 about a month back. My name is Peter Kelly. I'm joined tonight by Sydney Schwartz. We've got all the coverage for you on WMUC Sports. We should have a great one tonight. The Maryland Terrapins looking to keep this dream season alive. They sit at 12 wins, 3 draws, and then the big number, 0 losses. One of 2 unbeaten teams left in Division I. They earned this 1 seed in the conference with 8 wins and 2 draws, and again, no conference losses, the only team to do so. I'll turn it over to you now, Sydney. As we know, Maryland is the number 1 team in the country. They're taking on the UCLA Bruins, so they drew their first time out, one of 3 draws on the season. What do you think the Terrapins have to do to get the win and move on to Sunday's game at 3?
Well, Maryland holds a rich history against UCLA with 4 wins, 4 losses, and of course, 4 draws. So Maryland are going to have to look to some of their key players throughout the season. We've seen Luca Costabile, Leon Cole, and Saddam Masareka scoring great goals and playing really important roles for Maryland throughout the season. If they want to get the win here, those important players are going to have to show how important they are.
Well said. We know that both of these teams have a lot of high-octane players and a lot of firepower. It was really uncharacteristic, actually, when these 2 teams met the first time for both keepers to keep clean sheets. In particular, Kevin Box, the UCLA keeper, was making his first start of the season as a Division III transfer, and he kept a clean sheet against the eventual number 1 team in the country. He's done that 3 times this year. He's made a Herculean effort to keep a 4th clean sheet here at this packed Ludwig Field. Absolutely every bit of sold out. The biggest crowd that UCLA has played in front of this year was about 3,400 over in Bloomington, Indiana, when they took on the number 1 ranked team in the country, the Indiana Hoosiers, and they lost that one 4-2. This environment will certainly be a lot more raucous, a lot more rowdy, as they've got a sellout at Ludwig for the 3rd time this season.
I'm almost struggling to hear you over here, Peter. The crowd's so loud.
Certainly going to be a fun atmosphere here tonight. Starting lineups have been read out. Teams will shake their hands. Sasho Sarovsky hyping up the crew. His name was read out and accompanied by raucous applause. Coach Sarovsky, his 33rd year at UMD, one of the legends on this College Park campus. He's made the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament 19 times in the last 31 years, and he's been a participant in 23 of the last 24 NCAA tournaments. However, look forward to the NCAA tournament. You first have to get through the Big Ten tournament. And make no mistake, Maryland is the favorite to win this tournament. The 1 seed, the number 1 team in the country, still unbeaten. They've been unbeaten against all 3 teams remaining, and if they win, they will move on to play the Michigan Wolverines, who took an impressive 2-0 victory over the 2 seed, the Washington Huskies, earlier this afternoon. Both teams have taken the field here at Ludwig. Lights shine down on this 2nd Big Ten semifinal matchup. For Maryland, the starters will be the classic back 4 that they've rolled out so many times this year, from left to right: Luca Costabile, Tristan Rose, Chase Clark, and Lasse Kelp. In the midfield, they've got Leon Kiel, Albi Andronika, Chris Steinleitner, and Joseph Picoto sliding back in there. And then up top, the 2 forwards, the sensational Stefan GK, and the hat trick recently from Saddam Masareka. And of course, in goal, the German sophomore, number 38, Lauren Mack. UCLA is going to roll out the same lineup that they rolled out on Friday night in an impressive 4-2 victory over the Huskies of Washington, who finished as the 2 seed and are currently the number 15 ranked team in the country. They took that victory on the road on the Washington Huskies senior night. They'll roll out a similar starting lineup. In goalkeeper, it'll be number 18, Kevin Box, the Division III transfer. The senior will slide in there. He's making his 8th straight start. The back 4 on defense, they're ironclad wall of their own. From left to right, it's Shakir Nixon, Trey Wright, Blake Bayless, and Schneider Mimi. Right in the middle is the defensive midfielder Karamachi. And then right down the middle, from left to right in midfield, Konstantinos Georgilidis, Sebastian Rincon, and under Marti Carrena. And then up top, they've got two forwards, Adrian Aguilar, the freshman from Burbank, and the sensational Sergi Solans Ormo. We are just about ready to go here in College Park. 50 degrees, 7:26 p.m. And away we go. Trey Wright boots it away for the Bruins. They've got their all blues with the yellow numerals on the back. For Maryland, they've got the white shirts, the red shorts, the red numerals on the back. The goalkeeper, Lauren Mack, is in a gray shirt, and the goalkeeper for UCLA is in all black. We're underway in College Park. As mentioned, this game, every bit of a sellout, not an empty seat in the house. Always a treat to see Ludwig Field packed, one of the best atmospheres in the country. And for college soccer, not many places are doing it better than College Park, Maryland. Early throw in alongside the far touchline. Headed away by Maryland and getting chases Pakoto. Now it's going to be tracked down by Jace Clark. Clark, the right center back, the sophomore from Maryland, slides it up to Masarika. Masarika working on this near touchline. Working against two defenders, now gets it right back to Clark, and Clark will shoot it all the way back to Tristan Rose, his buddy in the center back position from Cortland, Ohio. Back to Lauren Mack, the German netminder, about 10 yards out from the 18, moving with it, acting like a sweeper. Plays it forward, it's Kelp on the left side. Lasse Kelp trying to play it forward and giving chases Constabile. But the first man to it is a UCLA Bruin. He gives it right back to his goalkeeper, Kevin Box. All the way forward is UCLA. They played a long ball. They were looking for Sergi Ormo. Some contest in midfield, and coming away with it is going to be Konstantinos Georgilidis. Maryland dispossessed, however, and it's Masarika who will work on the defender, Schneider Mimi. Play back to Clark. Clark's got it right around midfield. Gives it to Masarika. Masarika going against Mimi. Comes it over to Steinleitner, now all the way back to Rose. 2 minutes have gone by in half number one. Lauren Mack getting very comfortable out in the open field. Has not stepped back into the 18 in quite some time. He plays a hard line drive down the right side where the Turks have numbers. But unfortunately, it will just beat out Jace Clark and Sadam Masarika, who are making the runs. And it will skitter all the way to the goalkeeper, Kevin Box. Box slides it with the left foot over to his center back, Blake Bayless. Plays it over to Nixon. Up in the middle for Aguilar. Back to right. Trey Wright plays it forward for Mimi. Here comes Schneider. Mimi crosses midfield. Back towards the middle of the field with Aguilar. All the way across for Shakir Nixon. Nixon pushing up the right touchline, defended by GK. Tries to play it through, but the first man to it will be Constabile, and he'll shepherd that one out of play for a goal kick. Mack holding it in his hands and wait for his team to get set up. This UCLA lineup, the same lineup that they rolled out on Friday night against the Washington Huskies, with one minor change. Number 14, Zach Mastrodimos, the freshman from Hoboken, New Jersey, is subbed out. In midfield, he's replaced by number 16, Sebastian Rincon. So they get a little more experience in there, opting for the redshirt junior from Culver City over the freshman. In contest in midfield and coming down with it is under Marti Carrena. To Nixon, pushing up the right touchline. All the way back towards the center back, Blake Bayless, true freshman, playing it over to Trey Wright, who will try to go long. Searching down there for Georgilidis. Georgilidis in the corner, defended by Clark. He's trying to cut it back in. He crosses it in, deflected by Kelp, and it will go away. Trey Wright for UCLA, flicks it towards Aguilar. Aguilar defended nicely by Steinleitner. Now it's all the way back to the UCLA center backs. Shakir Nixon, the right back. He's been so versatile this year. His coach has lauded him for playing really wherever there's needed on the UCLA back line. It's back for Blake Bayless. There's Karamanchi. Tarun Karamanchi is dispossessed. Moving forward with it is Bakoto. He's got GK off the left side. He plays it to him. GK enters the box. Going one-on-one. Tries to cross it in right off the side of the netting. So an early opportunity for the Terrapins. It's GK just missing a little bit left, but that's what he's going to do all night. He's going to pester and pester, hoping to break through.
I'm sure many Maryland fans on this near side thought that went in, but great movement from NGK. We see how dangerous Maryland are from their wing players. Masareka and GK, just sparks on the sideline.
Good to see Maryland looking to establish that lane early. That's where the goals are going to come from if they're going to come. I mean, we know what happened on Friday night. Sadam Masareka, the first hat trick for a Terp since 2017, and he did it all in the first half and all in succession. The first natural hat trick and the first hat trick in the first half since 2005. So I have lived my entire life without a Terrapin hat trick. Poor ball from the goalkeeper Mack, and it's in contest right outside the box. It will fall to Adrian Aguilar. Aguilar, the freshman from Burbank, moving, defended by Masareka. Moving towards the corner, towards this near left corner. Double team by Clark and Masareka, does get it away. Mimi crosses it in, but he only gets as far as Bakoto, and Joseph Bakoto, the Italian, moving away with it. Had Kill out in front of him, but instead decided to keep it himself, laying it back to Clark, and then Clark all the way back towards Mack. Mack first touch. He'll send it across midfield, over towards Trey Wright, the anchor of this UCLA defense. Had a scary scene in the Friday night game. He took an arm to the face and was down for about 10 minutes. But he's got back up and he continued out that game and slotted right in tonight like nothing happened. All the way in the far left corner, Lasse Kelp working to keep it in. He does so beautifully, playing it to Mack. And Mack only gets it as far as Karamanchi. But Karamanchi takes a really heavy touch, sends it right into the crowd, and it's a Maryland throw. They'll move quickly here. Looking forward, trying to play it to Andronika was Kale. It's now skied all the way out on the end line for a Maryland goal kick. About 7 minutes have gone by here in College Park. Again, my name is Peter Kelly. I'm joined by Sydney Schwartz. We got the coverage for you for WMUC Sports, your Terps, your station. Mack, after some pressure, does end up sending it deep. Bakoto tried to flick it forward for Masareka. Mimi gets his head to it. And now so does Jorgalidis. Karamanchi sends it deep, looking for his attacker, Sergi Solans. Instead goes all the way to Mack, and Mack will send it towards Costabile, but it's a poor ball by Lauren Mack, just out of the reach of the left foot of Luca Costabile. And he goes out for a throw right on the edge of the attacking third for the Bruins. Here's Shakir Nixon, the ball at his feet. He was dispossessed. It finds Masareka. He crosses midfield. Moving with some pace, Sadam Masareka. Defended by Bayless, slides it over towards Andronika. Albi Andronika. And we'll get a whistle blown. Flag has gone up for offsides. Andronika just a little bit out in front of the defense.
Promising attack. That left sideline for Maryland. Definitely where it's going to be coming from.
Yeah, that's where I would look to attack if I was Coach Sasho. The two center backs for UCLA are Trey Wright, who's been rock solid all year. He's started every game this year. And then on the other side, it's Blake Bayless, and he'll be playing the right center back role. Just a freshman is Blake Bayless. Subbing in after playing for most of the year is Alan Legaspi. There's a Bruin down in the field. Fans are lobbying for a stop, but some of the Maryland fans are lobbying for him to just get up and keep playing. Constantino Shorgalidis was the man with a bit of an injury, but he gets up and he's fine now. Mack plays it out of the back to Jason Clark. Clark to Bakoto. Bakoto right through the legs of Karamanchi. Now Maryland moving with it. Andronika 20 yards out, tried to play it through to Bakoto, but it was deflected and now cleared away momentarily. That got some oohs and ahs out of the crowd. Karamanchi just classically nutmeg there. Masareka tried to move past the defender, but took a hand to the face and was down for a moment, but when the ball found his feet, he started to start it right back up again. So now Masareka evading past some defenders, but Karamanchi and Mimi team up to get the ball away from him. I assume that's got to be the scouting report tonight, right? Just keep it away from Sadam Masareka. He gets it again. He plays a long ball towards no one. Headed poorly, but it does barely get to the keeper box. It was a risky play from Shakir Nixon. Trying to head it to his keeper so he could pick it up, but GK was right there, and he almost had an easy tap-in for the first goal of the night.
Very risky. Nixon seems to have lost his footing just as he was about to head the ball back. Great thing for UCLA, and GK didn't capitalize there. Otherwise, we'd be one up.
Ball played through to Schneider. Mimi on the left side. The left back pushing up. Plays it to Georgalides. Georgalides has it in the box. Draws Chase Clark and Tristan Rose. Pushing towards the end line, and it deflects off of the feet of Tristan Rose, and it goes out for a corner. Rose celebrating the effort. The cross could not get farther than the Ironman senior from Ohio. Transferring in from the University of Charleston in West Virginia. Who's a Division II All-American. Just about 10 minutes have gone by, and we've got our first corner of this game. It belongs to the Bruins. Georgalides whips this one in with the right foot. It's headed away first by Kelp. Now another chance set in. It finds Georgalides, who kind of lingered in that left corner. He sends another one in, headed away. Nice shot by Tristan Rose to be the first man to it there. The attacking threat not over, but good for the Terps to get it out of the corner setting. Ring cone to Mimi. Mimi trying to play it forward for Georgalides. It was tipped and it could not get to him, but instead he does find it right around the arc. Plays it across the field, crossed in towards the striker, Sorans. He heads it about a few yards right of the right post. So a dangerous chance there. Sergi Solans, the name you got to watch out for if you're Coach Sasho. He has 8 goals in his last 3 games. He had a hat trick the 24th against Rutgers. Just a brace, a bit of a bad game for him against Omaha. And then another hat trick last Friday night against Washington. So he's the man the Terps have to watch out for at the top of the formation. Maryland's got it right now. On the right side is Kill. He goes down. The fans want to whistle, and they'll get one. So Maryland will get a throw on the far side towards Andronika. Over towards GK. Was dispossessed. Garmachi getting to it. Bayless plays it back to the keeper, Kevin Box. Box, a Division III transfer. Actually transferred in from Claremont Mudd Scripps, the joint program of 3 small liberal arts colleges down in California. The pass trying to play it forward for UCLA was the one that got as far as Jace Clark. And now it's cleared all the way away. About 12 minutes in so far. We've seen both teams been pretty stagnant, just 1 shot on the board for both teams. What do you like about how Maryland's kind of defending this UCLA attack, especially Sergi Solans? I mean, we know what they can do offensively, and both teams are doing a pretty good job on the defensive end right now.
It's been a big recovery game so far. Lots of possession, but then that long ball's played forward, and right now you can just see about 6 Maryland defenders trying to track back as we just saw that shot go off, but it's important to stop UCLA on the counterattack, especially with the prowess they have up top.
Yeah, we almost got to look at some of that prowess there. It was a good 2-man game from Georgalides and Sergi Solans. And it did find Sergi fired a nice shot with some power with the left foot, but it missed a few yards left of that left post. So no harm, no foul. Another shot on the board for UCLA, but still without a shot on goal, as are the Terrapins. As we've now gone over 13 minutes into half number 1. Still scoreless in College Park. The 1-seed Terrapins, the 4-seed Bruins. Going out it. Hard contact right at midfield on the near touchline, and Chase Clark is going to win his team a free kick. Foul is going to go against Georgalides. Kelp out of the back, playing it forward for GK. Stefan GK works past 1 man. Gets some oohs and ahs from the crowd. Now plays it to Joseph Picoto. Picoto back to Steinleitner. Steinleitner over to Masarika on the right touchline. Forward for Picoto, but the ball just a little bit out in front of him. And it will go all the way out for a goal kick for Kevin Box. Standing behind this one is Blake Bayless. Bayless, the freshman from Plano, Texas, making his 6th start of the year. skied away by Trey Wright. The closest Bruin to it was Sergi. Sergi Solons ended up hitting the deck, though, and some nice defense by Tristan Rose to prevent him from getting any closer to the ball. Back to Steinleitner, back to Rose. Mack wanted it back, but instead Rose goes across the field to Lasse Kelp. Kelp, the other center back, pushes it forward. Back to Lauren Mack. About a third of the way through half number one. Still scoreless. Moving forward with it are the Terrapins. Costabile plays Andrunika. Albi Andrunika defended by Trey Wright. Over towards GK. GK draws the defender, Nixon. All the way back to Kelp, and the Terps will be a little more patient here. Steinleitner back to Kelp. Lastly, Kelp forward. Here comes Andrunika. Albi Andrunika crosses it in, looking for Pakoto, but it was tipped away. And now it is cleared for the moment in the direction of Kelp. It will be a Maryland throw. Lasse Kelp to Leon Kill. Jace Clark right around the center M. Over to Andrunika, back to Cole. Here comes Costabile. Costabile gives to GK, and GK is stripped up, and he goes down. Free kick coming from Maryland. About 30, 35 yards out, but certainly dangerous for a cross in. GK did well to win that, going right at the UCLA defender. And it will set up a prime chance for the Terrapins. The whistle is blown, and the foul will go to Anzer Marti Carrena. Terps will stand two over it. GK and Costabile. Masarika is the lone man back for the Terps. Everyone else is in the box. Crowd on their feet in anticipation. GK's left arm goes up. He crosses this one in towards the back post, and it just beats out everybody. Closest Terrapin to it was Chris Steinleitner, but he had no chance at it as it sailed out of play harmlessly for a goal kick.
Dangerous position for Maryland. UCLA should not be giving away fouls that close in the attacking third to the net. We know what Maryland can do off set pieces. They got lucky they didn't score one right there.
Forward for Trey Wright. Wright in contest with Andrunika, and they're tripped up and dispossessed. Here come the Terrapins. Pakoto moving towards the middle of the field. Now play it back for Steinleitner. Nice clean tackle there from Andrunika to win possession back. Trying to play it forward off the touch pass to Cool, but it was played a little bit long and cleared out of harm's way by the Bruins. Terps will get a throw in, but it's back in their own half, and Clark will just chuck it down towards his keeper, Lauren Mack. Both ends of the student section, the crew, are full at Ludwig tonight, and both ends have everyone standing at attention, just waiting for the #1 team in the country to show them why they've earned such a high ranking. This is not a Maryland team that's supposed to be this good. Let's just keep that in mind. Maryland picked around 3rd in the preseason poll. It was considered Indiana's conference to lose, and they didn't even end up making the Big Ten tournament. They finished 5th, just behind UCLA. But Maryland did not start out in the national rankings. They worked their way up. There was a couple big early season victories over Georgetown on the road. They were ranked 25th. Then you get into conference play. You take down Wisconsin. You take down Pitt at home. Pitt was ranked. Then you start to think, okay, maybe Maryland has a chance to do something here. And then the Terps just don't stop winning. They take down Northwestern at home 4-1. That was never close. They draw at UCLA, then they win 5 in a row to end the season. Steadily but surely, the Terps work their way up the rankings and are finally rewarded with the #1 spot for the first time since 2019. Georgalides up the left side for UCLA, going one-on-one with Rose. Rose did good to poke it away, but it only gets as far as Karamanchi. Karamanchi to Masarika, and Masarika dispossesses Schneider-Mimi on the left side. 26 minutes to go in half #1. Sky Long looking for Andrunika. Karamanchi heads it over to Rincon. Sebastian Rincon. Over to Georgalides. Pakoto got his foot to it, and so did Andrunika, but Georgalides somehow sticking with it, and now he hits the deck. Bit of a flop there. It did not seem like Pakoto got much contact to him. And the fans at Ludwig are letting Georgalides know how they feel about that. Konstantinos Georgalides does end up winning a free kick. the man from Cyprus, has represented Cyprus nationally from U14 to U19 before making his way to UCLA by way of Louisville and UNC Greensboro. This is his first year at UCLA. He's played in 10 games with 6 starts. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists on the year, and he wins this free kick. He will take it himself from about 45 yards out. Karamanchi and Georgalides are close to it, but it's Georgalides to take. Whips this one in towards the bar post. Skied away, a nice clearance by Maryland. Now GK moving with it. Had out in front of him Andronika, but he could not get it to him. Nice job by Georgalides to recover. Now in midfield are the Bruins. Pass from Rincon goes right to the defender, Jace Clark. Clark back to Rose. Terrapins, no rush here. It's been a slow developing game. Just 3 combined shots. UCLA has 2. Maryland just the 1 from GK early on off the left side of the netting. In midfield, now GK's got it at his feet. The Parisian goes through the legs of a teammate to find Picoto. Picoto moving right to left. Over towards Masarika. Masarika's got a 1-on-1 opportunity. Cuts it towards the box. Takes a shot deflected. Still in contest, still in the box. GK wins it, going against Nixon. GK dekes it out, gets a shot off, rolls right into the arms of Kevin Box. The Terrapins start to wake up a little bit. They knock on the door, getting off 2 nice shots there, both deflected, both saved. But it's encouraging for the rest of this game to see GK and Masarika getting some chances on goal.
Very encouraging for the Terps. Maryland netted 40 goals in the regular season, which was 7 more than the 33 they did in 2024. I'm sure they're hoping to add 1 or 2 more tonight.
UCLA had a bit of a chance there with Sergi Solange. He was not able to get to it, and he's a little bit exasperated that there was no teammates in blue to join. Now the other way, Masarika working on Schneider-Mimi. Now he draws a double team from Adrian Aguilar. They do well to dispossess it, but it finds only Andronika. Andronika into the box, a shot. Wide into the right. Only Andronika. Another encouraging chance for the Terrapins. In the box with some space, fired a shot and got some power into it, but missed high into the right. It's the 4th shot of the game for Maryland. Kevin Box, the keeper, was pressed in the back by Andronika, but he does get it to his center back right, Trey Wright, over to Aguilar, to Karamanchi. Cleared away by Georgalides. All the way back to Nixon. Blake Bayless to Aguilar, defended by Picoto. Now back to the center back right. Trey Wright up the left side, the junior from Austin. Playing it forward, looking for Aguilar, but nice slide tackle by Jason Clark. Going out of bounds, and Maryland will get a throw. The slide tackle has been something that the Terrapins have really become known for this year. Particularly Jace Clark and Lasse Kelp have been really the big proponents of that. It's a risky move. It sometimes leads to a lot of fouls, but this is not a Maryland team that fouls a lot, quite simply. They don't foul a lot. They don't collect a lot of yellow cards. They're aggressive defensively, but oftentimes it pays off. Clark's got a throw in right in front of the UCLA bench. Gives it to Masarika. Masarika giving chase, but it's Tristan Rose will get it away. He's going to chase it down as Costabile. Luca Costabile, the Danish man. Andronika back to Costabile, defended and cleared away by Nixon. So Shakir Nixon ends that threat for the moment. Over halfway through half number 1. Terps still searching for a goal that could ignite this Ludwig crowd. Jace Clark's got it. Moves past Karamanchi with a nifty move, but his pass to Stabile could not get to him. Going down the midfield is Picoto, and he's done enough to earn a free kick. Joseph Picoto transferring in from UMBC with Lasse Kelp, the senior from Pinerolo, Italy. He's kind of been the unsung hero all year, but I think Friday night he was pretty sung. He assisted on all 4 of Maryland's goals. 4 total assists. That's given him 7 for the season. It was really his coming out party for someone who's been a huge impact in midfield for the Terrapins. Free kick about 35 out. Castabile's right arm goes up. He hooks it in with the left. Chance for Maryland is loose in the box, but it's cleared away by the Bruins. Going up forward is Georgalides. First shot taken by Cole. Steinlater thought he had another chance, but it was cleared away before he could get a contact to it by UCLA. All the way back to Masarika, the safety net. And now it's back to Lauren Mack. Mack about 15 yards out of the 18. Plays it long in the direction of Nixon and GK. It finds Cole. Leon Cole. Back to Stefan and GK. GK to transfer in from Long Island University. Scored versus Maryland in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Steinlater's got it. Past the center circle. Now back to Lassa Kelp. Kelp to Rose. Rose to Clark. Over to Picoto. Picoto's got a one-on-one chance with Schneider Mimi. Picoto dusts him. Moving towards the middle of the field with Spate. Now picks up Karamanchi. Picoto tried the same move. Didn't really work as well, but he still got it on his feet. Going against Karamanchi, and Mimi is dragged down right outside the box. The Fancier want a foul. Picoto wants a foul. He's not going to get it for the moment. All the way back to Lauren Mack. Now back to Rose. It certainly ignited the crowd here, although not in the way a goal would have. Wouldn't have been good for a penalty, but certainly would have been a very dangerous position for a free kick. Ironically, even the stat broadcast that we have in front of us thinks that should have been a free kick. It says there was a foul on Karamanchi and a free kick awarded to Picoto.
Certainly looked like one from our standpoint from the press box.
Cool, try to play that ball through to Castabile, but a little bit of miscommunication there. Let's find Castabile on the far touchline to GK. Stefan GK hooks it towards Masarika, who was one-on-one, but it was cleared away by Schneider Mimi. Picoto over to Masarika. Tracks it down. Looking to cut into the box. Plays it to Picoto. Picoto with some space. Cannot get a shot off. Nice job by the Bruin defenders to stop that threat. Back to Steinlater. Leon Cole. Burns past one man. Fires a shot off of the back of Karamanchi. Still with the Maryland Terrapins. Castabile moving around the arc. Now it'll go all the way back to Lassa Kelp. GK with some hard contact going up against Marty Carrena. No whistle blown, and the Terps fans here getting a little bit restless. UCLA with possession. Under 18 minutes to play in the first half. Your score still 0-0. My name is Peter Kelly, joined tonight by Sydney Schwartz. We've got coverage for you for WMUC Sports. And what a night do we have coverage for you. The #1 team in the country is here at Ludwig Field. And their home crowd has showed out in numbers. Blake Bayless, the center back, has it. Passes it to Nixon. Nixon takes it right around midfield. Now we'll play it back across the center line to Karamanchi. Looks like some substitutes are ready to check in for the Bruins. When they get a chance, it'll be Philip Knife and Oliver Roche. For now, UCLA plays on. Marty Carrena moving up the right touchline. GK's trying to track him down. He's now got a one-on-one chance. Marty Carrena fires across and looking for Georgalides, but cleared away by Lassa Kelp. All the way back to Tarun Karamanchi. Now back to Blake Bayless. Out of the center circle, Georgalides. Endorsing contact, now the Terps dispossess. Masarika was tangled up with Schneider Mimi, and he'll draw the whistle and the free kick.
UCLA substitution, replacing number 16, Sebastian.
That stoppage is going to get a chance for UCLA to make some substitutions. Checking out is Sebastian Rincon and Konstantinos Georgalides.
And replacing
Checking in,
number
as mentioned,
10,
Oliver Roche and Philip
Konstantinos
Knife.
Georgalides. Number 11, a junior from Odense, Denmark,
Oliver Roche is another one the Terps should look out for to be a scoring threat. He had a brace and an assist against Rutgers off of the bench. That was October 24th. 13 games this year. Jace Clark's got it in midfield, working against Roche, who just subbed in. Now forward to Picoto. Picoto playing it forward for Andronika. Albie Andronika draws the defender Bayless. Bayless out of position. Picoto all the way across the field to GK. GK draws the defender Shakir Nixon. Now he's got a double team. GK still moving with it, moving towards the end line. Still on the end line, crosses it back across goal. No one's there. He left it a little bit high, even if someone was there. Roche, nice slide tackle by Jace Clark. It goes out of play. Again, is very effective, and this time he does well to win the ball back for his team. Steinleitner finding Picoto. Picoto's dragged down. He goes down with Roche. No whistle. Aguilar is dragged down. Here's Masarika in the box. Masarika crosses it, trying to find Picoto, but Karamanchi's going to clear it away. Another slide tackle by Jace Clark. This one goes back towards UCLA, but each time he does it and each time he gets the ball, each time this Terps crowd gets a little bit more fired up. And if that just keeps building and building and building, sooner or later, the Terps with all that momentum are going to break through the wall.
I've got to think they got to let the ball off their foot a little bit quicker. They're getting all these touches in the box, and they're not capitalizing. 5 shots to UCLA's 2. They're not going to get anywhere if they can't let go of the ball.
Yeah, 5 shots, 1 on goal, but realistically, the Terps could be around 7 or 8 right now. It's the benefits and the curse of having players like GK and Mazurika. They're so shifty with the ball on their feet. They can burn past anyone at any given time, but sometimes they feel like they have to do that instead of just taking the simple touch and firing it towards goal, maybe for the running. But when you have 2 talents like that, you kind of got to live with things like that. Either your 2 leading scorers by a mile, and they're giving you hat tricks and dazzling ankle breakers.
A well-deserved hero complex.
Jace Clark, Mazurika stripped up in midfield, and the ref goes right to the shirt pocket. Yellow card coming out, Schneider Beanies. Flag for that. The first booking of the night goes for UCLA, and Schneider Mimi goes to the books for the yellow card. Mimi, the grad student from North Miami, by way of Moral Roberts. Pretty obvious one there. Mazurika had a break, moving into his own half. And Mimi just completely tangled up with him.
The yellow card was issued to
Play
UCLA's
deserving of a
number
yellow
23,
card, certainly.
Schneider Mimi.
Of course, the fans here love it, and it gives Coach Sasha a chance to love it even more with another opportunity to attack. It's played short. Jace Clark over to Mazurika. Mazurika again against Mimi. Mazurika moving towards the end line. A nice job by Schneider Mimi to usher that one out of play. The bench loves it. Schneider Mimi loves it. And after the yellow card, he gets his get back. Stands over this goal kick. Now playing it short to Kevin Box. Box to Bayless. Bayless over to Nixon. Trying to play out the back are the Bruins. It's played long for Marty Carrena. Under Marty Carrena. Burns past Kelp. Now the chance here for the Bruins. Marty Carrena crossing it in towards Olno. Deflected out by Tristan Rhodes.
Crucial interception from Tristan Rose. That was right on target. It's great forward play from UCLA.
Dangerous position there for under Marty Carrena. Burned past Lasse Kelp. Kelp tried to be aggressive and cheat the ball there, but it bounced right over his head. And Marty Carrena had a beautiful cross into Sergi Solans.
Just that ball over the top. UCLA have been trying to find it the whole game, and that's exactly why.
The corner kick for UCLA, taken by number 28, Adrian Aguilar.
So taking the corner for UCLA is going to be Adrian Aguilar, the freshman, the product of LAFC Academy. 7 starts on the year. This is his 8th. Still no points on the year for Aguilar. He places the ball down at the far left corner flag. He stands to the right. 12 minutes on the clock. Puts an arm up. Now sends it in towards the near post. First man to it is Maryland Terrapin, and it's headed away. Karamanchi, first time attempt, will trickle all the way through to Mack. And Mack with no trouble. Now it's Mazurika with a break on goal. Played along beautifully was Mack. Now forward for Mazurika, and he's pushed down by Nixon. Nixon back on his feet. Now Mazurika could not get that one forward anymore. It goes out of play, and it will go to the Maryland Terrapins for the throw-in.
Great defending from Shakir Nixon. I mean, Maryland looked through there. Last-ditch defending. You'd love to see it.
I mean, there was just such a crowd pop after that ball got through to Lauren Mack. It's because everyone saw Sadam Mazurika crossing midfield with a head of steam. that ball gets a little bit out more in front of him, we could be looking at 1-0. But instead, it's the Terps still with possession. Pakoto trying to work on the end line, but he was dispossessed. Good defense down there by Marty Carrera. All the way back to Lauren Mack. Kelp. Tristan Rose back to Mack. Setting up a triangle of sorts. Under 11 minutes to go in half number 1. Your score, Maryland 0, UCLA 0. Mack stumbled as he set that one away, but he does get it far down the field. Intended target was Clark, but headed away at first by Mimi. Now a contest in midfield. Leon Kill's going to come away with it. Playing it all the way back to Kelp. Lots of Kelp, the Bonn, Germany native. Forward for Costabile, now back to Kelp. Over to Rose, stands on the edge of the center circle on Maryland's half. Now forward, here's Steinleitner. With some space, Chris Steinleitner, the Austrian. Tried to play it forward for Andronika. It was dispossessed and now taken away by UCLA. On the back touchline, Marty Carrera just clearing it away. Tried to play a through ball to nobody there. Maryland will come away with it. Under 10 minutes to go in half number 1. Now Cole over to Clark. Clark plays Masarika. Masarika one-on-one opportunity. Plays it forward for Pakoto. Pakoto defended by Marty Carrera. Masarika crosses all the way back up top to Lassa Kelp. Kelp swings it around to Costabile. Costabile blanketed by Philip Knife, the substitute. Played long by Kelp to Masarika. Masarika with some space, fields it. Nice touch there to keep it at his feet. Trying to work on Mimi. Masarika moves in towards the left. Top of the box, plays it. Shot taken by Steinleitner, deflected. Another opportunity for the Terrapins, but they cannot get the shot to reach goal. A tug of the jersey there by Philip Knife, and the fans want a whistle there. Got a really big handful of the Chris Steinleitner shirt.
Interesting that wasn't called. Any level of the game, pull on the jerseys, a foul.
Fans here certainly not happy, and I think there's been some issues bubbling over with this referee, especially with some earlier on plays. It was UCLA with a chance. Roche plays it back too far for Marty Carrera. GK is wrestled down trying to win it back, and it will go Maryland's way. The foul goes against under Marty Carrera. And GK hyping up this crowd, keeping them in it, despite the fact that it's 0-0. You wouldn't think that by the way this crowd is reacting to every little thing Maryland does. This is a crowd that the #1 team in the country deserves, and it's great to see them show out tonight. Maryland's going to dip into the bench here. Coming out is Albia Andronika and Joseph Pakoto. Sliding into midfield are Luke Van Hoekelum. And it's going to be Henry Bernstein. Bernstein, the freshman from Gladwine, Pennsylvania, was a top 100 recruit in the country. He's played 12 games this year. But it's a credit to Coach Sasha and how much he believes in Henry Bernstein to make an impact in this game.
Number 23,
Subbing
a
him
freshman,
in, biggest game of the season for Maryland. Turns the freshman in midfield.
And replacing number 18, Jace Clark.
Bernstein played his youth at Philadelphia Union Academy, which is pretty well known for developing youth players such as Henry Bernstein here at Maryland.
Number 27, a freshman from Gladwin, Pennsylvania, Henry Bernstein.
Playing it forward for
And
UCLA's
replacing Stefan
Karamanchi.
Enrique. Number 44, a junior from Elmhurst, Illinois, Luke Van Hoekelum.
So also checking out in that substitution, Stefan Gike. Going in for him is Farouk Cisse. So it's 3 subs in, 3 subs out. UCLA also made a substitution. Adrian Aguilar comes out. Sean Sent comes in to transfer in from Washington. Under 7 minutes to go in half number 1. Roche, under duress, plays it to Schneider Mimi. Mimi tried to cross it back to Roche, but it was deflected, and now it rolls towards the goalkeeper for Maryland, Lauren Mack. Maryland just holding it in the back line. Steinleitner back to Lauren Mack. Max going to wait for some pressure. A little bit's applied from Sergi Solans. And now he does send it deep towards Mazarica. Schneider-Mimi went over the top to head that one away from getting to Mazarica. It goes out right for a Maryland throw-in. It's Farouk Cisse, the Russian Dortmund product, taking the throw-in quickly. Maryland in midfield. Over towards Nixon. Shakir Nixon. Over towards Tarun Karamanchi. Over to Trey Wright. Right back to Schneider-Mimi. Karamanchi all the way back to Kevin Box. Kevin Box is certainly getting an earful tonight from the one end of the Maryland crew, and when they flip the field, we'll be getting an earful certainly from the other end of the Maryland crew. Trey Wright forward for Oliver Roche. But getting back nicely is Tristan Rose. Pulls the chair on Roche, now comes away with it. Roche back to Lauren Mack. Mack plays a line drive low towards Cool. But it's a little bit too hardly hit. Cool can't corral it, but instead it does find Maryland. Out of the back, Lawson Kelp. Over to Lauren Mack. Under 5 minutes to go in half number one. Your score still 0-0. Snake eyes on the scoreboard here on this Wednesday night in College Park. Throwing for UCLA, it's Nixon. Searching now, finding Karamanchi. Tarun Karamanchi loses his defender, Bernstein. Now finds the left side of the field for UCLA. Schneider-Mimi the left back, playing it forward for Roche. Defended nicely by GK. All the way back, here's Tristan Rose, who skies this one away. It will go out of play. And UCLA coaches certainly approve. Coach Ryan Jordan loving that effort by his team to put the Maryland defenders under some duress. They're going to try to exploit this back line now, especially with Farouk Cisse subbing in. Maryland dipping into the bench. Coach Jordan definitely wanting to capitalize on this opportunity with some of the starters out. Moving forward with it is Nixon. Nixon was dispossessed. Rocket Rita getting in on it. Rocket Rita, the freshman from Canton, Georgia, just subbed in, the product of Charlotte FC Academy. Throwing back towards Kelp. About 3.5 to go here at Ludwig in half number one. All the way back to Lassa Kelp towards Tristan Rose. UCLA not applying a ton of pressure. Now Sergi Solans will give it a look. It's played forward for Mazarica. Mazarica goes against Mimi. Towards the middle of the field and Henry Bernstein. Bernstein to Rita tried a shot. It was blocked. Nice shot by Nixon to get back. Rita collecting the shot after just subbing on. Maryland attack still on. Mazarica in the corner. Defended by two Bruins. Crosses it all the way across the goal. Now in the far right corner, here's Costabile. Costabile tries a cross of his own, but no one's in the box to receive it. Mimi couldn't clear it away. Cisse went up for it, but now it is skied. Still in Maryland's half. Falls to the feet of Farouk Cisse. Cisse enduring a little bit of contact. Some more contact by Marty Carrena. Crossing it in. Closest man to it was Van Hoeklem. Now still in contest right outside the 18. Falling to the feet of Rocket Rita. Leon Cool. Looking for Rita. Now he gives it back to him. Rita pushing on the left side, slotting in where GK was. Cool. Back to Kelp. Lots of Kelp over to Leon Cool. Leon Cool, the junior from Cologne, Germany. He's named Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week for his assist and his goal against the 13th ranked Michigan Wolverines. Matt gets their way. Sergi Solans was pursuing. Had GK with some space, but getting in the way of that long ball was Schneider-Mimi. Throw in for Maryland. Cisse dumps it to Mazarica. Set on Mazarica from Kampala, Uganda, is tripped up in midfield. No whistle blown, and now UCLA's on a breakaway. With some pace, here comes Philip Knife from Denmark. Crosses it over to Sergi Solans, and the Spaniard was dispossessed. Lassa Kelp got his feet in there and got the ball away from Sergi Solons, who's getting a little bit exasperated. Now, in some more contact in midfield, Costabile wants a whistle. Seems like he's not going to get one. So back-to-back plays that could have been fouls were not called.
Such great defending from Lasse Kelp. Maryland's back line has held strong this whole first half. We've seen it with Jace Clark, Farouk Cisse just then, Kelp. It's impressive. You can see why they're the number one team in the nation.
The Maryland Terrapins certainly making a chance to be pushed towards the upper echelon of college soccer programs. One of two teams with 350 wins since 2000. With a chance here, Costabile right outside the arc with some contact, poked away. Nice job by Blake Bayless to get that one away. Now UCLA looking to move. Passed by Marty Carrena, who's tipped off with the chest of Chris Steinleitner. It goes out for a UCLA throw-in right around midfield. Clock winding down on the first half. 10 seconds to go, and I don't even know if UCLA is going to throw this one in. Shadow maybe strides over, but the fans move from the bathrooms, and the crew looks to switch sides. As that'll do it for the first half of action. Still zeros on the scoreboard, but it does seem like Maryland starting to dominate this game a little bit. 7 shots to UCLA's 2. They've got the only shot on goal of this game. And it does seem like Maryland can just keep applying that pressure. They might come away with a goal sooner rather than later.
Little disappointing there hasn't been a goal in this first half. Again, 7 shots to UCLA's 2, and only 1 shot on goal. Let's hope to see more in the second half.
It does seem like Maryland deserved a little bit more than they got in that first half, but 0-0 is certainly nothing to be mad at, especially with 45 more minutes to play. And you'll probably get your starters back in the field like Stefan Chike, who subbed out, giving a bit of an extended halftime with a 10-minute hiatus at the end of the first half. That'll just about do it for our coverage of half number 1. After 45 minutes, it's still 0-0. We are like we started, and now the game has been shortened to 45 minutes. See who will join Michigan in the Big Ten Conference Championship on Sunday at 3. We'll take a short break. Again, my name is Peter Kelly, joined by Sydney Schwartz. We've got the coverage for WMUC Sports. Don't go away. 15 minutes, we've got second half action right here for you on YouTube.
We welcome you back to Ludwig Field at College Park, Maryland. We are here at the Big Ten Tournament semifinal as the #1 Maryland Terrapins take on the #4 UCLA Bruins. For WMUC Radio, I am Sydney Schwartz alongside Peter Kelly, and we are in for what is certainly going to be an exciting second half. Now, Maryland leads on the stat sheet with shots taken and possession, dominating the ball for 60% of the time. Peter, what do you think Coach Sasho is saying to his Terrapin side over the break?
Yeah, I think the message has to be twofold. Number one, keep knocking on that door, keep tapping that glass, and sooner or later you're going to break through. We've seen guys like Masarika and GK cut into the box really at will. It's just a matter of getting the shots off. If they can start to get some shots off, they can get on the score sheet quickly. But number two, and more importantly, you cannot get complacent. Know that you're leading on the stat sheet with shots on goal, less fouls than them, but you cannot get complacent. This is a team that can pull goals from anywhere at any time. You got to keep a mark on Sergi Solans. You got to keep a mark on Oliver Roach. These are two players that can really score at will, and if you get complacent, even though you're leading on the stat sheet, it can go badly very quickly.
I completely agree. Maryland have played some rough defense. No fouls, but definitely very aggressive from their side of the ball. UCLA are going to want to look to capitalize, and hopefully Maryland do not give up the fouls that they don't want to concede. 45 minutes ago, and we are underway for the second half of the match. Long ball played in, went out by Wright. UCLA won back by Maryland defense as they let it go for a throw-in. Lasse Kelp on the ball, passing it off to Costabile. Steinleitner, now Costabile, into the middle. And Cole. Tack it away. Now it's UCLA. Striding down the right sideline. That's Philip Knife. Taking on 1-2. Ball into the box. Dangerous. Goes all the way across. Still UCLA. Deep shot to the left post. Cleared by Lauren Mack. But it's still in. And now it's finally cleared from Maryland. But only so far as Maryland now wins the ball. Here comes Cisse. GK. And it's a foul. Costabile drops it back. Kelp. Now Rose. UCLA not really putting on the pressure here. Lauren Mack, big ball out of the halfway line. It goes out for UCLA throw.
Looking at the lineup out of the break for UCLA, they're going to keep their starters except for two. Adrian Aguilar and Sebastian Rincon are going to stay on the bench in favor of Philip Knife and Sean Sent. So it's interesting to see what Coach Jordan's cooking up down there. Meanwhile, for Maryland, they've got their same 11 as they started out this match with, hopefully fresh out of the halftime break.
Knife's a very attacking player for UCLA, so I'm sure Coach Jordan is looking to go very offensive in the second half. As Maryland picks up the ball within GK. Finds Picotto. Picotto held up by 2. Maryland ball played all the way across the box. Doesn't reach anyone. Now UCLA back on the ball. Nixon. Knife. UCLA just holding up the ball. Maryland not really having that high intensity press. Shakir Nixon on the ball. Finds Karamanchi. And that's cut out by Maryland. It's Picotto. Costabile. Rose boots it forward. One back by Karamanchi. Trey Wright finding the pass back. Lots of room for UCLA to move forward here. Cuts off Castabile. That's Philip Knife. Deep shot right to Lauren Mack. Dangerous at the start of the second half for UCLA. What do you think?
Yeah, not great to see the first shot of the half and the first shot on goal of the half coming from UCLA, and that's their first shot on goal of this game. Philip Knife really, cutting like a knife through this Maryland defense. Burns past a few defenders, and luckily for them, he fired the shot very low and right at Lauren Mack, so he wasn't really challenged, but not really encouraging to see thus far.
Ball played over. Easy for Mack. We were talking about complacency before this start of the second half, and by the looks of it, UCLA are coming out with the bigger desire to win the ball right now. As Maryland plays it over, finds Bayless. Bayless clears it for UCLA, and it's a Maryland throw.
Yeah, I think going back to that point, this is a very dangerous game for Maryland because UCLA is clearly the underdog. They have a chip on their shoulder. They don't have anything to lose here. They're playing like it.
Shot blocked from Maryland. Picked up by Steinleitner. And out to the right-hand side. Ball played in. Dangerous. That's Philip Knife just heading it back safely for a corner. That ball could have gone anywhere. It was a smart move. But now Maryland are on the front foot with a second corner on the game.
Dangerous chance loading here for Maryland. See how well they stock up the box. But it's especially important for Maryland to really not get content here because UCLA, we know they're going to go balls to the wall the rest of the way.
The hand is up and the ball is played. Dangerous, cleared away from UCLA. Only as far as Maryland though. Plays it back in. Lasek help all the way forward to help it on. Here comes Castabile. Crosses it to the D. And that's Bayless who heads it away. UCLA on the front foot, but that is a foul, and the crowd is not happy about that one. Again, another dangerous opportunity that Maryland is not capitalizing on. Is it the UCLA defense that's doing well, or is it the Maryland offense that's just not doing enough?
I mean, we know this UCLA team is just so good with the ball at their feet. Their offense is really built around ball control and versatility and passing. And the aspect of that versatility is that you can really get all 10 in the front field to get able to drop back into defense at any point in time. So I think UCLA's done a really good job kind of adapting to what Maryland is throwing at them. And I think it's a credit to UCLA more than it is a detriment against Maryland.
Being able to adapt is such an important part of soccer. We've seen it. It's especially important in the second half. With 38 minutes to go, still 0-0, and UCLA apparently on the front foot as Maryland look to attack. Picoto. No, Castabile. Looks like it deflected off his own player, but that's boxed with the ball now in the 18. Andronika not really giving him any space to boot the ball, but he drops it, plays it to Bayless. Driving out from the back. Shakir Nixon now being held up by NGK. Back to Bayless. Box. Bayless again. Dumping the ball over. Looking for Knife, but won by Castabile, who seemed to have knocked into him funny on that one. As Maryland gets the ball again with Lauren Mack in goal. UCLA picks up the ball. Promising position. Ball played over the top, but nobody really making that run there. And Lauren Mack collects the ball. some big battles here in the midfield. Costabile ending up on top, and it's a Maryland throw.
I think one thing that's important to keep in mind for Coach Sasho and this Maryland Terrapins team, the ranking you come in with does not change the team that you are. And the team that Maryland is a team that drew 0-0 at UCLA about a month back, and that was Maryland's really worst game of the season. It's the only time this year they were kept off the score sheet, and particularly in the second half, the Bruins were much more dangerous. They had 6 shots than Maryland, but UCLA was a lot more dangerous in that second half. If that continues today, Terrapins could be in some trouble. They just got to keep playing their game and forget about the rankings, forget about the seeds, forget about all of it. Just play your style of soccer and you'll get on the score sheet soon enough.
Yeah, they need to remember the opportunities they've gotten. They've got a packed crowd here at Ludwig Park. That's something you don't always get to say. But the crew has showed up and showed out. It's going to be a UCLA throw. Drops it back, just held up by Picotto a little bit. All the way back for Wright. Here comes UCLA. Cut out by Cole. And here comes Njike. Acres of space. Bayless not really closing down. The crowd are on their feet. Bayless pass. Njike pass 2. What a save that is from Box. Just pushes it wide, and here comes Nixon. Now Bayless clears it. Costabile on the ball. Cole. Njike again. Cuts in. And out. Tries to curl it top right, just over the bar.
GK's second shot was a good one, missed it high into the right, but that first chance, probably the best chance for the Terps of this match. Terps at 3-on-2, GK electing to take it himself instead of passing to his teammates trying to give him some space, and Kanika was there. Maybe you could have played it forward to them, but instead, he tried to do what he does best, which is take advantage of a lot of space.
Knife on the ball. Cut out by Cole. Finds. That's saved by Box again. UCLA all of a sudden can't seem to clear it out of their half.
Another dangerous chance there. Really good job by Leon Cole. He's been a really great defensive midfielder this year. He dispossessed UCLA. And the ball found its way to the right foot of Costabile, who had a fair amount of space and got a shot off. But just a little bit low and not enough pace on it to beat the keeper, Kevin Box.
Costabile back now. Tries to turn it for Cole, but cut out. Maryland. UCLA. And that was Konstantinos Georgilaitis back on the field after a substitution in the first half. Promising shot. Nobody really closing him down in that midfield.
Georgilaitis got some power into that one. The Cypriot. I know what I was doing my prep work. That is not a name that's an announcer's friend right there.
Nope.
Konstantinos Georgilaitis. How about that one from Famagusta, Cyprus? Got a decent amount of power into that one. If it was on target, it would have been trouble for Lauren Mack, but luckily for him, it was about 10, 12 feet over the crossbar.
Knife again. Tries to find Sergi. Gets him at the left-hand side. Back for UCLA. Shakir Nixon now. Tries to force the ball in, headed away by Rose. And now Andronika with the ball. Holds it up. Finds Masareka. 2-on-2, the crowd is on their feet. Cuts in. Tries to find that slotted through ball to Picotto, but I almost think he should have taken that shot himself. Now Njike. Tries the shot, blocked. And now Knife comes out with the ball. It's a Maryland throw deep in UCLA's half. After another promising opportunity for the Terps.
I honestly think the unsung hero today for UCLA is wearing number 6 in blue. Tarun Karamanchi has just been phenomenal in that defensive midfielder role. Did a great job to get in the way of that shot. That was absolutely ripped at the top of the box. It was a great chance there. Masareka, could he have shot it? Maybe. He did try to find Picotto, who had a lot of space, but it was going to be tough to get that ball through with so many blue jerseys in the way.
Maryland's defense, but the ball is cut out. Here comes Knife, charging down. Cuts it back, starts going into the center. Finds Marta Corena. Nixon. And then right. All the way to that left-hand side as it goes back to right. Just swinging the ball to Bayless, keeping possession. And now it's Nixon. Loses his footing, and GK nearly wins the ball there, but Nixon picks it back up. Good tackle by NGK. Fair, and here comes Picoto, slowing it down, and now speeding it back up. Right past Marta Corena. And that is not a great tackle, and that's a yellow card for Marta Corena. Dangerous foul. Just sweeps the back of Picoto's legs out. Very deserving of that call.
Yeah, those are the fouls that you're more likely than not always going to get. You've got a one-on-one chance, and the attacker just beats the defender. A lot of times the defender, maybe it's just a mental thing more than anything else, but they'll look to just take them out. They don't want them to get any further. They don't want the highlight to happen on them. So for Marta Corena there, I think that was definitely the case. He picks up a yellow card, and it gives the Terps a prime position free kick about 35 yards out. It's going to be GK and Costabile to stand over it.
Costabile is going to be the one to take the kick. Crew is standing on their feet as Costabile plays that ball in, and it just floats out for a UCLA goal kick. Maryland's dead balls have not really been great this game, just floating too far over or too far wide. Box plays it to Bayless. Now Nixon. Karamachi. But it's cut out by Costabile and found by Leon Cole. Back to Costabile. Swings it wide, and UCLA defender just gets a foot on it. Mazureka tries to play it back in, but Kevin Bach just gets his hands to it. So promising, just yet not quite there for the Terps.
It might be hard to tell if you're listening from home, but the just gasp of air that was let out from this crowd, they were waiting for something to happen, and it looked like they had him beat. Costabile had so much space, he crossed it across goal, there was no one there. Mazureka with the chance to tap it home, and he just could not get a touch to it. Maryland just building better and better chances as we go. It's promising for their future, but right now, it's not looking great to see them take so many shots and not being able to capitalize.
The atmosphere here at College Park is incredible on this little bit chilly November night. Every single seat in this house is taken, and taken up by some very loud and proud Maryland fans. It's going to be a throw-in for UCLA. Miami on the ball. Kid out, one back by Maryland, but not before Kirumachi finds it. And GK now. Swings it over to Clark. Mazureka to Steinleitner. Tries the 1-2, cut out. And it is out for a UCLA throw. Nobody in this crowd seems very happy about that call. So UCLA takes their time to get the ball back in motion on this far left-hand side of Ludwig Field. Tristan Rose wins out on the ball. Kelp back to Lauren Mack. Plays it big to Mazureka. And Picotto catching Clark on the overlap. Another ball played in. Hits the post. And just goes out. And now it's going to be a UCLA goal kick. Not quite sure what happened there. Seemed to have just flickered off the outstretched Kevin Box.
It was a great chance for Chase Clark, who's not someone you see a lot pushing up at either touchline, but he got some pace. He was able to whip it in, and it wasn't really in the way of any Maryland player that was making a run, but it almost went in on its own. It beat the keeper, Kevin Box. It just wasn't really on target to get into the back of the net.
Andronika applying the pressure on Kevin Box. Plays it out. So now it's Sergi on the ball. Striding through the midfield. Tries to find the player making the run, but nobody on the same page as Tristan Rose is riling up the crew. And it is Lauren Mack's ball for a goal kick.
I don't think it's a problem to be worried about Maryland right now. I think with 27 minutes to go, anything can happen, especially in the postseason. And the longer you let a team like UCLA hang around, a team that's a clear underdog, the more they feel like they can actually win that match. But you also have to take a step back and realize, hey, this is the number one team in the country for a reason. They've gotten so many chances tonight. They've been knocking on the door. They're just getting closer and closer and closer. We saw this 2 weekends ago, the Halloween game against Washington. Nothing was materializing, and then out of nowhere in the 83rd minute, off of a busted play, it was Andronika at the right place in the right time to tap it home to give the Terps a 1-0 lead over the second-best team in the Big Ten. So, if you keep pushing like the Terps have, and like Coach Sasha is insisting they do, you're going to get repaid in the aggregate.
Soccer is a very back-and-forth game. Now it's Maryland on the ball. Clark plays it forward. It's one out by Karamachi. A little bit of some tangled legs over there, but Picotto ends up on the ball. And he is cut down. And here comes UCLA, who chips it, tries to get Lauren Mack out of the goal, but just hits the top of the net. I believe that was Sergi with the opportunity.
Dangerous chance there. They caught Lauren Mack a bit out of position. And the shot missed, but not by much. It was taken for about 45 yards out. It was a little bit closer than you would have liked. It touched the outside of the top of the net. So luckily for the Terrapins, it was on the wrong side of the crossbar, but still a little, make your heart stop a little bit.
Could have been very costly for the Terps. Philip Knife now. Pass Costabile. Brings him down, but cleanly. Costabile on the ball. Now it's Cole. To Steinleitner. Finds the run of Clark. Androneka now. Masareka. Masareka cutting in. Finds Clark again. Ball wasn't great, and it's cleared by UCLA's defense. As that goes out for another Maryland throw. Tristan Rose on the ball. Little bit of a shove in the back, and that's going to be a Maryland free kick. Plays it quickly. Kelp. Tinjike. Facing up against Nixon. Gets past. Finds Costabile, takes the shot, blocked. Sorry, that was Albi Androneka with the shot that was blocked, as Picotto takes down UCLA defender right at the top of their 18. That was Taryn Karamachi. We have just under 23 minutes left in this second half as we are in the Big Ten semifinals. University of Maryland Terrapins take on UCLA Bruins. We are here with WMBC Radio. I am Sydney Schwartz alongside Peter Kelly as we are just about halfway through this second half. Kevin Box plays the ball outside, and it's won by Maryland's defense to Karamachi. Now, I can't even pronounce his name. Georgalides. But it's back for Bayless. Now Nixon. Just a bit of miscontrol, but manages to keep it in. Some hands up on the sideline. Bayless again. Box. Mixes it up. That's Androneka. It's great press from Maryland's attack. It's going to be a corner. Just a little bit of miscommunication, it seems, from Kevin Box. Not able to clear the ball with his own 2 feet.
Yeah, Kevin Box wasn't the first choice of keeper to start the season. He was actually
Looking
the
at
third choice.
Maryland, taking by number 3, Luca
Coach Short at
Costabile.
UCLA. Got a little bit loose there. Mazarica with a lot of great pressure. Almost had a clear shot there off of a huge error from Kevin Box. But instead, Maryland wins a corner.
Maryland corner on the far side. Lots of options in the box, especially a lot of options with height. It's not cleared properly. Now it is Karamanchi, but that's easy for Lauren Mack, who's all the way at that halfway line to swing that ball back in. Headed away. Only so far as Picoto takes a shot, blocked. Maryland throw. This far side, Picoto kept the ball in by the end line. Still him. Costabile all the way over on that opposite side. Maryland just keeping possession as they look to attack as a team. Steinleitner. Now the ball is played in. That's won by UCLA, but only so far as Costabile. And now it's Philip Knife. And Marta Carrena tries to find a running Nixon, but it's won by Njike. Picoto in the midfield. Costabile looking to take on Nixon. Finds Andronika. Tries it. And that's all the way out of the park.
Yeah, not a great effort from Albi Andronika there. Had some space, cut into the center of the box, and then sent it. He was maybe aiming for the national championship goal in the far right corner. I think that was more likely for that shot. But the more this team that hangs around UCLA, as we've now gone under 20 minutes, the less time that's on that clock, the more likely it is that one goal can be the dagger, which is really dangerous if you concede, because then it's become harder and harder to mount a comeback, score 1, maybe 2 goals, but you have less and less time to do that. So conceding here is absolutely crucial that Maryland can avoid it.
Time is ticking down in this second half, just under 20 minutes left. That's Karamanchi on the ball. Just slowing down the pace a little bit. Front's Marta Carrena. And now Nixon. Knife. Some hold-up play. Now it's Knife again. That's going to be a UCLA throw. Philip Knife to take it, but drops it back to Marta Carrena. Nixon to Aguilar. Nixon again. All the way back to Bayless. UCLA just swinging that ball, keeping possession, trying to keep Maryland tied down. Karamanchi now. Aguilar. Box. Here comes Georgalides. And now it's out wide for UCLA. Bursting down. Gets by Jace Clark. Dangerous ball in. All the way to Knife. He's taking on the player. And not quite sure if that was supposed to be a shot or a cross, but in the end, not dangerous enough for UCLA. There is a player down in the box right now for Maryland. Referee is signaling for the medical staff to make their way onto the field.
big loss for Maryland if he can't continue. That's Jace Clark. That's the right center back for this Maryland Terrapins team. And with guys like Tristan Rose, we get a lot of the weekly honors like Big Ten Defender of the Week, which Rose has won before. Jace Clark's been equally as good in that back line. So it's very unfortunate to see him down as the training staff is attending to him. As he's also surrounded by Lauren Mack, Chris Steinledner, and Lasse Kelp.
Clark's been an important player throughout the season, as you said, and specifically in this match, holding UCLA to their 0 goals and only 2 shots on target. We only have 5 total shots on target this whole game, and it's a little bit disappointing from both sides considering how profound their offense appears to be, but that just says something about each team's defense. The crew is cheering as Jace Clark gets on his feet and is walking steadily towards Maryland's sideline.
I think in a lot of scenarios, if these weren't the 2 teams we were seeing, you'd maybe say, okay, maybe the offense isn't that great tonight, or just the shots aren't falling. But I think with these 2 teams in particular, it's just a credit to the defenses. I mean, these are 2 of the best defenses in the conference. There's a reason that they're both in the Big Ten tournament. And for Maryland, there's a reason that they're the #1 team in the country. And it's that defense. It's that back line that's been so rock solid throughout this year. Left to right, Gustabile, Rose, Clark, and Kelp have just been ironclad at the back for Maryland, combined with seemingly an all-world keeper in Lauren Mack. There's not much that you can do if you're UCLA. I mean, it's easy to say for Maryland that you should be scoring against UCLA. You're the better team. But this is a UCLA team that matches up very well with Maryland. They have a really good defense, just like Maryland does. They've got really good center backs. Trey Wright's done a really good job. And Blake Bayless has been really impressive tonight as just a freshman. So I think it's not really a detriment to either team's offense as much as it is a credit to their defense.
I agree. It's been a very 50-50 game. Could go either way in this moment in time, as we see Farouk Cisse check in for the leaving Jace Clark. It's going to be Maryland's ball.
Yeah, unfortunate to see Clark have to leave for him. It doesn't look like he's going to come back in anytime soon. Hopefully he's okay, but as far as options off the bench go, you can do a lot worse than Farouk Cisse.
That is true. Lauren Mack plays it long. Won by Picotto. Picotto again. That's cut out. Cole. Finds Masareka. Cutting in, trying to go himself. That's one out by Knife. Here comes Gustabile. Just holding that ball up. Picotto on the right-hand side. All the way to Cole. Now in GK, but it's cut out by Nixon. Nixon looking for options, not really finding any. Having to check back to Blake Bayless at center back. And now all the way back to the UCLA keeper. Here comes Mimi. Aguilar in the center. Long ball looking for Sergi. He's going to get there. Cuts it in. And that's a UCLA goal. Maryland not happy. The crowd is silent as UCLA runs to that corner flag to celebrate. We were just saying it, how any sort of spark in this game can lead to a goal. And, I mean, here we go. Maryland 0, UCLA 1. All 11 players on this Maryland side are holding their heads down in disappointment as Marta Carrena celebrates that goal.
I mean, it's like someone just dropped a bomb here at Ludwig. All the energy just immediately sucked out of the crowd. And credit to Marta Carrena. It's his first goal of the season. Only 3 games played. He did play last Friday night against Michigan State, but he did not score. Yeah, we were just saying it can happen at any time in any way. We cannot get complacent. And I don't think the Maryland Terrapins got complacent. I think it's just a credit to UCLA. This offense knowing what they had to do. They know that they're maybe don't have the star power that the Terrapins have, but they know they're capable. They know they can score against any given opponent. 16 and a half minutes left. This is UCLA's game to lose. They did this one 1-0 off of the goal by Marty Carrena. The assist will go to Sergi Solans.
UCLA scores in the 74th minute of
The game is back up and running with Maryland on the ball.
Marty Carrena.
Rose.
With the assist to number 9.
Now Cisse. Maryland are going to be playing with a point to prove in these final 17 minutes of the game.
Number 10, Constantino.
Ranked number 1 and losing to number 4.
Number 14, a freshman out of Hoboken, New Jersey, Zach Mastrodimos.
UCLA on the front foot. Aguilar to Mastrodimos, who just checked in. Nixon striding forward. Takes the shot all the way wide. Maryland goal kick. Lauren Mack looks long. Finds Picoto. Cisse. Steinleitmer. Masareka. Stuck to this right sideline. Masareka all the way back. And now it's Kelp on the ball. Cole. Costabile. Finds the run of Cole. 1v1, Androneka. Not quite past Blake Bayless for a Maryland throw. It's going to be taken by Costabile. Picoto now. Held up by 2, finds Cole. All the way back from Kelp to Rose. And now Cisse. Charging forward with that ball. Nowhere to go. And now it's picked up. UCLA, it's Sergi. Finds the run of Knife, and in comes the sliding Lasse Kelp.
Just under 15 minutes to go here at Ludwig. And simply put, can the Maryland Terrapins come back from a 1-0 deficit? We don't really know, and that's because Maryland has not trailed for more than 78 seconds this year. Yeah, in 15 games they trailed for just 78 seconds. That was the September 23rd at Penn State, where Christian Dion scored for Penn State in the 85th minute. Kelp eventually tied it up at 2-2 with a free kick goal beautifully in the 86th minute. Can the Terrapins come back? We'll see. We've never really seen them play desperate. We've never really seen them play with a need, a hunger, a desire for a goal. Can they pull it out tonight? It's going to be a fun one down the stretch, but boy, starting to get a little nervous for that undefeated season.
Despite trailing, nobody from this crowd has been seen to have left Ludwig Field. And that just stands to how hopeful these fans are for a Maryland comeback with Costabile. One out by Knife, and now it's Nixon. Nixon for UCLA. Karamanchi. Back to right. And now Aguilar. Goes out, Maryland throw. Or actually, UCLA. UCLA just slowing down the pace a little bit. They're up 1-0. Don't want to give that lead away. Rose wins the ball and is cleared away by Lauren Mack. And GK, the forward header to Androneka. All alone up there. He's just got to hold the ball up for Costabile. Androneka now. Sliding in is Nixon. Played to right, and now it's Aguilar. Mimi, Aguilar. UCLA just connecting passes, but picked up by Picoto, and that's going to be a foul on Aguilar and a yellow card. Some risky defending from UCLA as Maryland earned the free kick. Rose on hovering over the ball. Almost everyone for Maryland up by that 18-yard box.
UCLA's number 28, aging
except for, of course, Lauren Mack. The whistle blows, and the ball is played. Long ball over. And that's tipped from box. It's going to be a Maryland corner on this left-hand side.
Poor job from Kevin Box. Should have been an easy claim for the keeper. Went up for it, hit both with his hands, and then just trickled behind them. Going out of play, and now all of a sudden, this crowd back on its feet with 12 minutes to go. Terps set up for a corner with GK.
All the Maryland fans hopeful for this. GK over the ball for this corner. Maryland's 4th of the game. Back post. Headed, still in. UCLA gets ahead to it, but it's back in GK. 1v1 on Nixon. Gets by. And that's headed away by Karamacha. And it's cleared by UCLA. Here comes Phillip Knife sprinting on Lauren Mack, but gives that away. Now it's Mastrodimos who's taken down. And it's UCLA free kick now. This game seems to have been turned all the way upside down for Maryland and its home fans. What looked hopeful starting to dwindle a little bit with a little bit around 10 minutes left in the second half as UCLA leads 1-0 with a goal from Marta Carrena. UCLA on the ball with their goalkeeper, Kevin Box. Now right. Long ball over, only so far as Rose. Plays it to his keeper, Lauren Mack. Looks long, but finds Masareka. Then Cisse. Now Masareka again. Maryland looking to move forward here. But it's given away, and now it's Sergi on the ball for UCLA. To Mastrodimos. Dangerous ball, but cut out by Costabile. Now it's Leon Cole. And GK. Space to work is magic. The crowd is on their feet. All in GK. Cuts in, cuts out. Nixon reads it well. And that's cleared away. So far as Costabile finds in GK again. Just spins past Nixon. And that's going to be another Maryland corner. Hopes are still high. Ball is played quickly, but nobody seemed to have been in the box. Sergi picks up for UCLA, but won by Masareka. A bunch of players on the ground now as Maryland ends up with the ball. It's cut out by a UCLA defender so far as Picoto. Tries to find the short ball in, but nobody there, and it's cleared. Now it's Sergi on the ball for UCLA at the halfway line. Ball is played up. It's a foot race. Rose wins and plays it back to Lauren Mack. Here comes Picoto. Space to move, but just not finding the pass to Androneka. With Knife on the ball and finds Mastrodimos. Mastrodimos goes down, but that's clean. That's won by Cole. Cole's still going. Finds Picoto, and now it's in GK in a foot race. Won out by Bayless. Into the box, Androneka. Just having to play it back to Cisse. Cisse hits it. Low shot. Flickers wide. Dangerous. Even more dangerous for Maryland now. Under 8 minutes remaining, and they're still hopeful for that tying goal.
I mean, by all metrics we can look at in this game, Maryland is just the team that has deserved this more. They've doubled up UCLA in shots, 15 to 8. They've got 3 shots on goal. Actually, they had to make 2 saves. UCLA has 6 fouls. Maryland has 4. Maryland has 4 corners. UCLA has 2. But soccer's not about who deserves it more. It's not about moral victories. It's not about, hey, we did this the best, we should win the game. No, it's about who gets the score sheet. And who can finally break through and get that goal when it's needed. And so far, it's been UCLA and Andre Marty Carrera. Credit to him. Freshman from Pamplona, Spain, stepping up in a big spot, scores his first career goal in the blue and gold. Played for CD Subiza in the 3rd division of Spanish football last year. He's got a great pedigree that he brings with him, and what a time for your first career goal, huh? And 15 minutes to go in the Big Ten semifinal against the #1 team in the country.
Great opportunity, that's for sure. And all the more impressive on this stage. Maryland's ball. Back with Mack in their 18. It's a goal kick. Sending everybody forward. Finds Picoto. Just misses it. One's out by Mimi. Here comes Knife. But doesn't get past Kelp, but doesn't mean Nixon can, as that's another UCLA goal. Seems like Marta Carrera is also involved with that one. Wow. Maryland players standing hands on hips. Faces, heads held down. And now we're seeing some fans leave the crowd as it's 2-0 UCLA with 2 goals scored by Marta Carrera.
How about that? I mean, 7 minutes to go. Game's certainly not over. Anything can happen, but for 83 minutes, it does seem like the UCLA Bruins came into College Park and they just wanted it a little bit more. And Andre Marty Carrera, credit to him, had not scored all year, played in 4 games. Now comes in and scores a brace. First 2 career goals to get the UCLA to 2-0. It's going to be tough to come back from this one. And again, I mean, you're not going to see the last of this Maryland team. Obviously, they're going to the tournament. You don't be undefeated for the whole year as the #1 team in the country. And you don't end their season in the Big Ten tournament. That's not how it works. They'll get a chance in the tournament, but this is a little bit disappointing, I think, just to see UCLA, I think, came out with a lot of fire tonight. And I don't know if Maryland's really matched them, especially with how this crowd was right behind them. It does seem like UCLA has been really trying to break through, and especially after the first goal, I thought Maryland got a little bit deflated, to be honest. They didn't really get too much out of, a lot of hustle out of the first break. It seemed like it was kind of insurmountable.
Well, here comes UCLA again with Knife. Now it's cleared, but back to Knife, the edge of the 18. Karamanchi now. Just tries to play that ball in, no one there. Now here come Maryland. Perhaps a little bit more fire under their cleats right now. Just about 6 minutes left, but maybe not in the best way possible, as that is a yellow card to Farouk Cisse. And it's going to be a UCLA free kick.
I mean, we know it's hard to go undefeated in a season. We know it's hard for any team to sustain this level of brilliance that Maryland has. And you do think that maybe it comes to an end at some point. Yeah, maybe they give up a goal, maybe they lose a lead. But in this fashion, I mean, it's so heartbreaking for it to come so late in the season. And obviously this isn't the end goal. The end goal is the national championship still, and that's not going to change. But seeing here tonight, UCLA just coming to College Park, I would say outworking the Terps. And yeah, it's just, I'm not going to get mad at the team because it's the #1 team in the country and they treated us to so many incredible moments this year. But
100%. They've had the crew on their feet every step of the way.
Like, this is what I'm talking about right here. It's a break. GK has got a break in front of him. He's got some space. He beats the defender, and instead of chasing after the ball, trying to play it forward, Picoto is making the run. He instead just goes down, trying to bait for the call and maybe set up a free kick. That's not really the soccer you got to play to win this game. You have 5 minutes left. You need 2 goals. You got to score now, man. You don't really got to wait for the ref to give you a free kick that was already going to be 40 yards out.
Even with the fairy tale story coming to a close, time and the game is not over. Yes, it might be hard to score 2 goals in just about 5 minutes, but again, soccer's a magical game for that reason. Cisse on the ball. Maryland, ball in. Wide open for Njike, and heads it all the way wrong. And how do you miss that one?
Yeah, it's just one that GK is going to want to have back. And it's easy to sit here and dump on the Terps for this performance, but it's so much talent, and I think it's just the little things that are getting to him. And I think getting down a 2-0 hole, GK maybe hits that a little differently if it's still 0-0 or if it's 1-1. But instead, he just kind of tries to do a little bit too much, be a little bit too fancy, and try to bounce it towards the crossbar, and instead he just massively overshoots it.
And all credit for Njike, who's had such an incredible season for the Terps, but just not able to capitalize at this stage of their season. We are running down on time. UCLA 2, Maryland 0. Goal by Marta Carrena, and updated also Sergi, with Marta Carrena getting that assist. That is a foul going Maryland's way. So we're going to see some substitutions. Drew Brown going in for UCLA. Coming out of Iowa, the graduate student.
Bruin substitution, replacing number 9, Sergei Sholams.
Who's taking out Sergi, the second goal scorer of this match.
Graduate student out of Milwaukee, Iowa, Drew Brown.
All the way back with Maryland's defense. And it's a foul. Maryland free kick. Costabile taking the kick. Reaches the top of the D, but only so far as Roche. Now it's Costabile again. Picoto. Cisse. Still Maryland on the ball. Dangerous ball in. Maryland can't capitalize. Kevin Box gets his hands to it and dives on the ground. Was a dangerous looking opportunity, but there seems to be somebody on the ground for Maryland. Costabile. And the whistle is called, as even more Maryland fans leave the crowd.
I mean, it is disappointing to see Maryland go down 2-0 in this game.
Kind
of behaving how they're behaving, but I think it's also a credit to UCLA. I mean, they came in 500 on the year, 6 wins, 6 losses, 4 draws. They did enough to sneak into the Big Ten tournament, and they came into this game hot. I mean, they scored 14 goals over their last 3 games, in particular a ranked win, their first one of the year, 4-2 at Washington, dominating a team that the Terps really struggled with about a week and a half ago. So it's a really big credit to UCLA to come in here, do what many thought couldn't be done, which is take it to the Terrapins, get a few goals on them, and hopefully roll out of here with the win.
Knife now. He's going to take on DeVries, who has just come on for the Terps. Nixon on the overlap. Nixon full of life despite these 90 minutes, and he's taken down almost in the box. Quick shot from Roche, but goal kick. And that's Njike on the ground now. The referee's calling for some medical attention, as he seems to be holding his left hip. GK has been the spark for the Terps this season, coming from all the way from Paris, France. Leads the team in assists with 7. And always a joy to watch for the Terps. Never a joy to see him on the ground. It's become a silent night in Ludwig Field right now, as much of the crew is leaving after their Maryland Terrapins are down 2-0 to UCLA. At this rate, UCLA will be playing Michigan, who beat Washington 2-0 earlier today. That match will be played on Sunday.
I think after watching this season of play, it's foolish to sit here and say that this one game is just what sends Maryland's season down the drain. I mean, just make no mistake about it. This is a national championship contender. This is one of the best teams in the country, and they have been the whole year. But I do think that this stings a little bit twofold. First of all, it shows teams like UCLA and these teams in the tournament that it is possible to score on Maryland's defense. They're a little bit vulnerable. We saw the holes in them when Cisse came on. That's when the goals started to come, and when Clark subbed off. That's when the 2 goals came in quick succession for UCLA. There's going to be better teams in the tournament. They're going to be able to score more than perhaps some other teams that Maryland's played this year. That's the first wrinkle of it. The second wrinkle of it is teams also now see that not only can you score on Maryland's defense, but when you do, they start to lose a bit of body language a little bit. They start to kind of fall apart mentally. It's a bit lazier than we've seen this Terps team be, a bit less hungry than we've seen them be. And I'm sure Coach Sasha is seeing this, and he's going to look to address it in the practices that he has leading up to the NCAA tournament. But it is a little disappointing to see giving that teams that opening that, hey, if we get this team backs against the wall, we can really take it to them, because they don't really know what to do when they play from behind. So hopefully this could be a lesson more than anything else. This isn't the game that matters. The game that matters starts in a few weeks in the NCAA tournament, but this should be a learning opportunity for the Terps to come out after this and say, okay, here's what we can work on. Here's how we can get better after losing a game, after really being dominated in the second half of the game.
It's been very formidable from UCLA. Number 4, 3 spots below Maryland's number 1, and they've shown up tonight. But what's quite upsetting is we've just seen Mac DeVries come off limping and needing some support, and is just making one of his few appearances on the season. Never a good sight for the senior, but Maryland are now on the attack. 44 seconds left in the second half of the game. Cisse, ball in. There's a head to it, but right to Kevin Box, who controls it with his feet and then decides to pick it up. Time is running out, but UCLA's story continues as they will move on to play Michigan. UCLA tied Maryland 0-0 earlier this season.
9,
and with 10 seconds left,
6,
we are reaching the end of our night.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And at the end of the match, our final
And that
score,
is the end of the match.
UCLA 2,
Our final score,
Maryland 0.
UCLA 2, Maryland 0. We've been here with WMUC Radio, bringing to you live the Big Ten semifinals.
Yeah, it was a disappointing one for sure. I think in the second half it was a little disappointing to see Maryland struggle as much as they did with this UCLA defense, but it's a credit to UCLA. I mean, they brought it to the whole night, and they were just a little bit more disciplined, I thought, tonight. They kept attacking, and they kept making meaningful attacks. It was easy for Maryland to kind of sit back after 60 minutes and say, hey, we've been dominating this whole game. We're going to score at some point. We'll just let it happen, and kind of forget that there's another team playing on the same field as you. So credit to UCLA for not letting themselves get out of this game at all, even when Maryland was scoring, threatening a lot of chances. They were still able to keep tapping away, and that's what's going to pay off. The resilience and the drive to want to score is going to pay off down the line. But of course, this is not the end of the season, as we know. The Terps will get some games in the NCAA tournament. They will more than likely be a high enough seed that will get some more playoff soccer here at Ludwig Field, which will always be good. But unfortunately, that is how the undefeated season will end. The UCLA Bruins get it done, 2-0 here at Ludwig Field.
On Sunday at 3 o'clock.
That will just about do it for us here for WMUC Sports. I've been Peter Kelly, joined by Cindy Schwartz. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Where the
Have a good
Michigan
night.
Wolverines will take on the UCLA.